So, yeah, failed again. Haven't uploaded a video in a while. But hey, what, 3 weeks? That's way better than the previous record. So, um, I wanted to talk about a few things. One, my last video that I had posted on YouTube said, kind of talked about depression and how I've been depressed and how things have kind of not gone the way that I expected after cancer. Um, some things are great, some things are some things are, mentally, like, I'm a little uh, beaten down, I guess. So some things have changed since then. They're built on things that had happened since March of last year of 2017. So, but I wanted to get into that a little bit, and then I also wanted to talk to about. Well, we'll get into that. So, from September through Thanksgiving, I've been doing it since March, but like it was like a little bit of money. But I've been trading cryptocurrencies, and it was just I was looking for something. I was trying to figure out what to do with like a 401k, and I got a daughter. What do I do about college and things like that? I've got a little bit of funds in an account for her, but it's not enough. I don't see it growing fast enough. I was looking for ways to try to grow, make a passive income. So, a buddy of mine turned me on to cryptocurrencies, and he had given me the apps for Coinbase, which anybody who does crypto trading knows about that. It's a little app you can get on your phone, and also uh, Robinhood, which is for stocks, like normal, you know. If you got a stockbroker, like the same kind of stocks that they can access, you can access there as well. And you just put money into an account and then you can buy it. So I was doing a little bit of that since March. And then September came around and Bitcoin started becoming like a big thing. And I had a little bit of money in Litecoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it started to grow. And I started to see like my profits just triple between then and Thanksgiving. So then I went, hardcore mode and I started putting in I probably put in about $2,500 from March through Thanksgiving, and it tripled, quadrupled, and then I ended up taking some of that and getting into altcoins, and altcoins blew up, and it just exploded, and I had not tons of money, but I mean I could see this going somewhere, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I was talking about my depression, that was I think right around Thanksgiving or right before Thanksgiving. Once this started happening, I started finding myself when I got into the altcoins, I had something to preoccupy my mind with, I guess, and it helped pull me out of a depression. You can probably notice I'm not down in the dumps this last Tuesday, and we'll get into that later. But I was pretty bad shape, but that's for other reasons. So. Uh, anyway, what I wanted to say was that trading cryptocurrencies pulled me out of this slump because it was something to focus my attention on. It was a light at the end of the tunnel, and I could see myself doing something that was growing with I was able to I like looking for patterns and I wouldn't call myself an investor because I do a lot of stuff emotionally, which you're not supposed to do with cryptocurrencies. That's bad. Don't do that. But I felt like I was willing myself to make money, and it was happening. It was just happening, and it's kind of hard to go wrong if you do a little bit of study, and you know what you're getting into, and you don't put any more money in than you're supposed to, then you can live without, that you can afford to lose. At this point, though, I had pulled out my original investment, and I was only playing with my fund money. So, um, yeah, so it's actually helped me deal with my depression by trading these cryptocurrencies. So I don't know if that would work for anybody or everybody, or feeling like you're worth more, which is a monetary thing. So it's kind of like the anti-me attitude. I don't believe in. I grew up in thought process that if you had money, you probably stepped on some people to get it, and you probably did something shady or illegal, or you were, businessmen or corrupt, and that's just how I saw it. Which is funny because most of the people that I grew up with that thought that way in Texas, kind of saw the world like that. Like if you got money's the root of all evil, things like that. Those are the people who are super hardcore gung ho Trump, and Trump's never worked a hard day in his life. And I just think it's hilarious. So that's kind of funny. It's just something to notice. But anyway, uh, I yeah, I guess I wanted to say I'm out of my depressive slump, with the exception of Tuesday. And um, what happened on Tuesday was, so in cryptocurrencies, it's hot or cold. It builds way faster than stocks. Unless you've got a ton of money that you can put into stocks, you're not going to see the kind of growth potential that you're going to see with cryptocurrencies. And I was seeing massive gains, and so I decided I'm going to take some of this money and invest it in something that I'd heard called Bitconnect. And you probably heard about it, especially if you're from Texas or North Carolina, or you're in the trading space at all, or you watch the news, or it's everywhere that I've been in contact with. But I search a lot for cryptocurrency stuff. So I had taken so I reinvested new money. I was leaving my funds where they were at, and I decided to invest $4,000 worth of new money in. And after discussing with my mom, talking about, she just retired this year, and I was asking her, hey, how does, because I'm thinking about, my future, my retirement. And what did you do? How do you have things? And she's like, oh, she's got some IRAs, and she's trying to figure out how to take her 401k out. But the thing is, she only started working whenever she got my parents divorced, because she had to, because she was a stay-at-home mom, and she did a great job doing that. But she didn't. That was her plan was, to be with my dad, and that didn't work out. And so, it goes to show you, just like me with cancer, you can't plan for certain things. These things can happen, so it's best to plan for everything. So that's what I'm trying to do. And she said, well, I've only got about, I'm like, what's your net worth? She's like, I don't want to give the number out, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't what I consider to be enough to survive. And so I was really worried about that. Everything that I had researched on Bitconnect seemed legit. I knew that there were people out there saying it was a Ponzi scheme, or it was, a big scam, or this and that. But I literally was seeing people buy their houses with the money that they would show you. They would show the video where they would go in, pull their money out, put it in the bank, go to their, this guy, one of the guys that I watched, he had his channel's Rhino M. Anyway, he finished buying his house, $98,000 right there, boom. And he'd only been in this thing for, I don't know, 7 months or something like that. And then there was another guy that, if you know where I'm going with this, because if anybody who's into Bitconnect, they know who Trevon James is. And I used to watch all his videos. I took a lot of advice from him, and he's actually helped me make quite a bit of money on altcoins and things like that. And if Bitconnect had worked out, I would have made tons of money because of him. And even though I didn't actually sign up under him, which is funny, he was the one I watched the most, and I still watch his videos. And so what happened on Tuesday is that so I took $4,000 of my own money, and then I told my mom, hey, I told her the risks. I was real with her, but still, I was that guy. Talked my mom into a bad investment idea with her retirement money. Yeah, I'm upset. I was upset about that. So, because we lost it all. We lost it all on Tuesday. Was it January? What is today? Today's the 20th. That was, I think, Tuesday, so 16th, I think. Out of nowhere, they just said, oh, by the way, we're closing the lending platform, and you can no longer create lending. If you don't know what Bitconnect is, it's like you buy Bitcoin. You convert Bitcoin into Bitconnect coin. Bitconnect coin then uses some sort of algorithm and a robot, something that they've created to help buy and sell Bitcoin throughout a day. And depending on how much they make, they give you a percentage back, but you never lose money. So too good to be true, possibly is. So, it was one of those deals. I was making, but we were making returns. We're making like 1% return every single day on 10. We put in 8,000. By the time it was done, before this happened, we were at like $11,000. So things were looking good. I was doing. There's a calculation thing in there, and we'd be millionaires in 2 years just sitting on it. And that all went up in smoke on Tuesday. And so, I reverted back into a depression a little bit. And it was hard because it wasn't. I can deal with it because it was basically fake money for me. I did invest new money, but it's not money I don't have somewhere else that was a profit. But my mom's, I lost my mom's money, and that's rough, man. She's not, she's okay right now, but all it takes is one bad car accident or one uh, some bad result in a hospital, and you're screwed. And I did that with my mom's money, and that was horrible. I'm a horrible person for doing that. I should have known better, But I was, and it wasn't even greed. It was just I want to see my mom do well. I wanted to do well. I figured we could do this together, and it went up in smoke. Now everybody's up in arms like at Trevon James telling right on his wall on YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. Oh, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna sue you. We're gonna this and that. It's like we were the ones who made this decision. We made this decision. We knew the risks, and if you were smart, if you weren't greedy, if you went in and just, I mean, yeah, sure, greed plays a part. Who doesn't want money? I was trying to make money for my mom and myself, and it sucks. It sucks. It really does. I haven't given up on cryptocurrencies, but Tuesday hit me really hard, and I was like, well, maybe this is all just a bunch of BS. And uh, it was a rough day. It was a really rough day. It was very. I mean, I had not felt so low in so long that because I was riding this high of, oh, this nothing's gonna stop me. Nothing can stop this. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be okay. It doesn't matter. I'll work my job. I'll go do whatever. Everything's fine. Cryptocurrency has paid for a lot of my bills in the last couple of months. It's paid for almost all the furniture that I've purchased from my house that we're in. I mean, you'll notice some new stuff in the background. It hasn't been set up yet, but whatever. Um, my bed, not my bed, my entire room, all the furniture set that I've gotten there, paid for Christmas. I was pretty generous with Christmas this year, and I felt great, and it was awesome. That was great. Coming off of a year before when you didn't have a job and was relying on disability and stuff because you couldn't work because you had poison pumped into your veins. What a difference! What a difference! I was feeling great, and then the Tuesday hit and it was bad, and I bounced back though. So for 2 days, all the cryptocurrencies were really down. They were like 50%. I lost like half of my net worth, cryptocurrencies, and and then the next day showed up, and all this back up, and I'm like, well, that's where I realized is this emotional investment that I've been putting into this is part of the problem with my depression is that I'm emotionally investing in things that don't need to be invested in. And I need to be smart about things. So I consolidated the things that I was just grabbing because I thought it was going to make me money. I was removing greed from the equation. I was removing the plans. And, whenever you think that money's coming in and you start making these grand ideas in your head, like, oh, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to take care of so many people and this and that. You can't think that way when you're investing with real life money. You can't do it because if it's gone, then you don't know how to backtrack. You just become emotional and you say, I'm going to pull it all out and then I'm going to blame somebody else for my problems. And that's what a lot of people are unfortunately doing to all these people. Now, was it a scam? Who knows? What they did was they announced the day of. So whenever you went in to go log in to try to get your investment to put it either into a new investment or pull it out. They said, we're not using the investment platform anymore. We've shut it down because of this, that, and the other thing. You can go check it out if you want and you want to really dig into it. And that we're giving you all your money, your original investment money amount in their tokens because they can't convert it to Bitcoin for you. I mean, I guess they could have, and that's one of the big complaints. So they gave it to you in your tokens. Well, everyone panicked and thought, oh no, I'm going to lose all my money. So they went and they sold their tokens. So by the time I got around to it, tokens were $8 a piece. When I bought in, They were $450 a piece. Like, you know, so my initial investment of 9,000 something dollars turned into $528 or something like that. So I was really, really, really sad that it just vaporized. Boom. That's a new car if you get the right car that you probably wouldn't want to drive. But I mean, that's a freaking car. I lost a car, you know. So anyway, I'm making this video for two people. One, update people to let them know that I've kind of come out of the depression phase of my return back to life, normal life, whatever. I've found purpose. I've found a community, the cryptocurrency community. Work community is good too, and it's starting to change at work, and it's I feel worth something, and that's really important for people who are going through these types of things, that they get depressed because they don't feel like they're worth anything. They don't feel like they're even if people care about them, people love them, it's hard to see their own self-worth because it's a judgment on yourself. You know, you don't feel worth something because you don't think what you do is worth that price that other people are putting a premium on. What you don't realize is that, you know, love is another currency. You know, it's, you got to give it, and you're going to get it back, and it's an investment. It's just like the cryptocurrencies. Love is just like a cryptocurrency. You put one form of money into another, and it's going to come back. Every person, all your friends, your family, each one of them is a different cryptocurrency, and you're investing your love, your fiat currency. That's you. You're putting it into them, and the more you put into it, the more you're going to get back if it's something that they are worth something. You know, if they are worth something, they're going to reciprocate. They're going to give it back tenfold, and you're going to, you know, you're gonna be filled with a lot of life, a lot of love, and it's going to come back to you tenfold if you put it out there in the right spot. So that's the takeaway here. I didn't mean for this to go this direction, but it turned out. So, you know, invest in your friends, invest in your family, and know that if you're not making a return on your investment, that doesn't mean that it's a bad investment. That just means that you haven't waited long enough, that you haven't researched enough, that you haven't tried everything that you possibly can, and don't pull the plug on it until you know for sure that that's it's a dead currency. It's a dead. It's just a dumping ground. You know, it's never going to give you anything positive out of it, out of your life, in your life. So yeah, that's it. I guess I just wanted to do that. And then, well, and the other people who this is geared for is the people who did get into Bitconnect. And I'm sorry that I'm there with you. I lost 10 grand. Half of it was my mom's money, and that was like a good chunk of her retirement. I took part of my mom's retirement, my daughter's grandmother's retirement, to live a reasonable life comfortably, and wasted it because I didn't think I was hanging my hopes on a dream versus research. And the people who got me into it, the people who I listened to, they lost money too. They lost, you know, their whatever their investment was. But the thing is that we all knew that they didn't make their money with that. Well, there may have been one, but Trevon James, you know, that he had money before that. That was extra. This is just a diversification of his portfolio, and I think he put up a video about that a couple days ago. Because I'm sure he's having a really hard time about it too. I wish that he maybe would come out and say, guys, I'm sorry if I led you down that path. And he has said that, but his attitude with it, it's not what you say, it's how you say it type of thing, I think is what's getting misconstrued as him being a Papa's ass. He's trying to maintain some pride in his lifestyle and his persona, and he quit his job to go do this cryptocurrency stuff, and you know, but what he says is still true. It's just how he's coming off saying it. It's angering a lot of people, I think. And so don't get hung up on that. You got to remove your emotions from your investments, unless it's love. And that's the takeaway, I guess. Boop.